Now, Jack, Toni Kroos has just announced his retirement from football. So after the Euros, it'll be the end of it. Obviously, he still has the Champions League final to come up now. But the time this come out, I'm not sure. It might come out before the Champions League final. So meaning that we don't know if they won or lost. We're gonna guess Real Madrid won. I hope they lost. Yeah. But if that's the case, that means he will leave with six Champions League. And in that time period, Jack, he's also had a partner called Luka Modric, who with him, they both were able to win five Champions League together. Modric would also have his six with Real Madrid. Now, there's this debate that has been going on for a long period of time about, you know, Sergio Busquets, Xavi Iniesta against Cruz, Casemiro, and Modric. Yeah, I'm gonna take Busquets and Casemiro out of the debate, and we're gonna talk about the four maestros in Modric and Cruz against Xavi and Iniesta. What was the better duo overall, Jack? We're talking about a duo who's been together now for close to 10 years, with Modric Cruz and with Modric and Cruz and could win their fifth Champions League together. And Xavi and Iniesta, who almost like two peas in a pot. I think they won two Champions League together. You could say four, but one of them Xavi didn't even participate in as much. But we'll give him, in fact, we'll give him four. Yeah, two of them was a bit iffy, because 2015 Xavi didn't play, and 2016 they were both kind of bit part players in there. But we all know what they did. We're gonna leave all the international stuff away, yeah, because Cruz and Modric didn't play together on the international stage. But Jack, what was a better duo for you?
So I'm again, it's really tricky, and I know you're taking out Casemiro and you're taking out Busquets, but I don't think we can underestimate the importance of those guys in letting
100%.
the two in front of them play. And I know James isn't saying, like we're just tossing them away. I think if you isolate them, it's hard to truly analyze Xavi and Iniesta without Busquets. It's hard to truly try and think about Toni Kroos and Luka Modric without Casemiro back there as well. Um, Chemistry, I'm gonna give to the Barcelona guys. Of course, I am. It's like it's like they're twins sometimes the way they played. And again, relationships like that, and knowing what your teammate is going to do two steps before they do, and that kind of thing is so invaluable, especially in midfield. Oh my goodness gracious me, that is insane. But James, I have to be honest. I think that I'm going to go with Modric, and I am going to go with Cruz. And and I think it's because, and I'll tell you why, because I think both of those guys, be it together or be it apart, be it in that Real Madrid team or be it in any other team that you want to put them in together or not together, I think they find a way and they make it work. Again, my favorite word, my swear word, my E word, that I should really be banned from saying. I think that without, oh my God, La Masia, right? Yeah, without La Masia, without Barcelona, without the culture, without Pep Guardiola, I don't know if Xavi or Iniesta, together or outside, have the level of performances that they have anywhere else. I think Toni Kroos and Luka Modric would probably be able to replicate some of their performances they had for Real Madrid anywhere you like, and I'm gonna go for that. In terms of beauty, romance, all of those kind of cool things, I'm going with the Barcelona duo. But gun to my head, I'm gonna pick Toni Kroos and I'm gonna pick Luka Modric. I actually feel kind of gross saying it, and it actually makes me feel kind of uncomfortable. But James, I think you know how highly I think of that third man in the Barcelona trio, and I think you know
Mhm.
where my thought process would go if we were throwing that third person in. But you take away those holding midfielders, I'm going with Kroos and I'm going with Modric. What about you?
Jack, it's a
Because
tough
it is
one
hard.
because
This is
Jack,
very hard. This might be the
oh,
hardest. Yeah,
this is disgusting. Jack, you mentioned a
yeah.
big thing right there. If you take them both out of the systems that they play in, the tiki taka, the Pep way, and you just put them both duos in isolation in different environments, Modric and Cruz probably get the job done more than Iniesta and Xavi do. Jack, that is not a bad observation at all. And you can also mention the fact of they could win five Champions Leagues together. They've been able to dominate Europe, but I take everything into consideration, Jack. And there's no wrong or right answer here.
No,
Two unbelievable duos, and I mean unbelievable duos. And toe to toe, Real Madrid fans are gonna go for their boys, and Barcelona fans are gonna go for them boys. But the level of dominance that Xavi and Iniesta had playing together from 2000, and I'm gonna leave the stuff that they did on like international stage, because we know what they did there. They mashed up work on a different level. Yeah,
Right,
in 2009 all the way up to, I will say, 2014, the way that they were able, when those two were together, when they were able to just suffocate teams and just, I mean, Jack, not just beat teams, but embarrass them. I mean, choke the life out of teams. Like Kroos and Modric, they can have bad games. They will find a way.
right,
But yeah, and Jack, it might not be a thing where you leave the pitch and you'd be like, that was difficult. You'd be like, okay, we stood toe to toe, but these guys just found a way, as they always do. When Xavi and Iniesta got going, it was almost like you were just mesmerized by the way that they were able to work together, tiki taka. And of course, you add the environment of Messi in there, Messi dropping in, Sergio Busquets and all that. But those two, how much they were able to make things thick. And Jack, when you look at all the Champions League finals that they played in, how many times Xavi or Iniesta would be named as the man of the match in like in them games? So often it was them just doing incredible stuff. Take nothing away from Toni Kroos and Luka Modric. And if you want to give me the numbers of the 5 Champions Leagues, I get it. Yeah. But I can look at those two and say that in like what, in 3 seasons, they won 2 Champions League. And Jack, they also won 3 La Ligas in a row, something Toni Kroos and Modric never did.
right.
They're gonna give me the three in a row too. But just in terms of you, that like that style of play and how much you could just frustrate and just like it to me, like they're both very similar. Xavi and Cruz,
Mm,
not as, like, think about it, not as mobile. Xavi to me was a bit more mobile
yeah,
than Cruz. Is more of that passing. Think about it, like more of the passing rate, short to long, proper controlled. While Iniesta and Iniesta Modric to me are these not boxes as much, but monsters who can get about the pitch. You put them around 3, 4, 5 players, they're going to wiggle their way around, just dropping shoulders, getting past players, nutmegs, the lot outside of the foot passes, the fence splitting, like so many different stuff that they can do, and they're very similar. But the style of Xavi and Iniesta and the way that they combine together is what would just put me ahead. Now,
it's so much harder to
it
replicate. I
is,
think
oh, Jack,
that's the main thing. Like it is harder to replicate. I think if you take some unbelievably talented players of the profile of Modric and Kroos and you put them in Real Madrid and you try and like maybe it's the same kind of result. And I'm thinking, and again, players don't really come to mind, but if you take similar caliber of players and the similar profile, then maybe something like that happens. It's impossible to replicate what Xavi and Iniesta did. Impossible. And I think even the players that you think about who you could like, let's say maybe Phil Foden is kind of a Iniesta type of kind of midfielder, maybe, right? Let's say it's still impossible to replicate the relationship because you can have all the talent and all the ability, but if you can't replicate what you see on the field with your relationship, and again, it's that whole thing of I know where he's going to be after I pass him the ball and receive it back. That's nuts. That's insane. It's like alien, it's like telepathic communication. It's insane.
again, you've listened to me wax lyrical on how great Xavi and Iniesta is, and I choose them. But at the same time, Luka Modric and Toni Kroos came together part in the middle part of like their career, where they both had different stages of like growing up. And Jack, they come together, and out of nowhere, like that, once everything gets going, they build this incredible relationship where one complements the other. And there, and like, and think about it, Jack, by them complementing each other, you've seen the success of both of them. When one was there, when one was missing, you've seen how much it like affected the group. Jack, you mentioned Real Madrid fans mentioned a lot in like 2015 when Modric wasn't there. It affected the performance, and that was maybe one of the reasons why they didn't go on to beat Juventus in the Champions League. And just even like you look at this season, Jack, Modric hasn't been there as much, but Toni Kroos has been able to come up with performances. But the season, what 2022, what that remarkable performance when they both come together and Jack, they got going. You know how effective they were, especially in that final where it was difficult, Jack. They both found a way to get control of a very difficult game, a very rampant, and I mean rampant Liverpool team. They found a way to get control of the game, and especially in that second half, they were able to frustrate and dictate that Liverpool game. And at the end of the day, they came out with the victory, as they always
Well,
seem to do, Jack.
and they're accomplished outside of Real Madrid, though. That's the other thing I want to make sure is important. Toni Kroos did not have a slouchy Bayern Munich career. There was a reason why Real Madrid wanted him in the first place. Luka Modric had a pretty nice career at Spurs. I'm actually just thinking in my head, all-time Spurs 11. Is Luka Modric starting in central midfield?
You
He
can make it
might
stronger.
be.
I just think he wasn't there for long enough. But also, Jack, you
Maybe not,
mentioned, but Jack, you mentioned how great the duo is. If you bring out, I mentioned the international stuff. I forget that Toni Kroos won a World Cup and bossed it in that World Cup, and it's been incredible for Germany. Luka Modric, on so many occasions, 2 times has finished a bronze medal, a runner-up and a bronze medal for Croatia in putting in outstanding performances. And we know what Xavi and Iniesta did, winning three titles in a row
three
for
majors in a
Spain.
row. Oh my God.
All
Yeah.
four players are so accomplished, yet outside of their environment too. Yet like on the international stage, and we may go into the thing where like we have to rank all them, who is number one, who's 1 and 4. Like it's crazy, but we're talking about four of arguably the greatest in their position all time. To me, they all sit at the same table. That's
The duo thing is interesting because you can go a number of different ways, and there's a number of different teams. And I'm sure people get at us in the comments. Anybody watching your team's duo in midfield all time, who you want to throw in, because the three is interesting because there's usually they kind of complete one another, and then it's more about your flavor. A duo is a little different because it's not fully rounded. There's always a kind of a piece missing, and you can go one way or another. So very interesting.
But guys, so we've had the debate. Yeah, we both like wax lyricals about both duos, Jack got Modric and Cruz. I'm gonna stick with Xavi and Iniesta, but let us know what was the better duo, guys. Comment down below. Kill me if I said anything wrong. Kill Jack if he says anything wrong. And
Yeah,
if we
we
did say
get
something right, praise us at the same time. Let us feel a little bit of love. Like, share, and subscribe, guys, and we will see you next time.